Hi guys, it's Hinda and welcome back to Cooking Fantasies. In today's video, we're going to be making these delicious apple caramel cinnamon rolls. The most delicious and fluffiest apple caramel cinnamon rolls. And of course, we're going to be using the caramel sauce we made together in the previous video. I will be leaving the link down in the description box. And if not, you can use any caramel sauce that you have. Throughout the video, I will be giving you all the tips and everything you need to know to make the perfect rolls that are so soft and deliciously pull apart. So make sure to watch till the end. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell to make sure to get all the recipes, and let's get baking. Like always, I will be leaving you down in the description box all the ingredients you're gonna need in both grams and cups measurements. We will start by activating the yeast or bringing it to life, and for this we're going to need to mix some flour with sugar. Here I use some dry active yeast. You can also use fresh one if it's what you have. You just need to adjust the quantity, and for this I will be leaving it down in the description box. We're going to add some lukewarm water, or a little bit over lukewarm. It shouldn't be too hot, neither cold. Then we're going to mix everything together, cover it with some plastic wrap, and allow it to activate for about 10 minutes to 15 minutes depending on the room temperature. After about 10 to 15 minutes, this is what it's supposed to look like. If you didn't get this foam, if it didn't activate, it means your yeast is not going to work, so you have to repeat this step. Meanwhile, I have prepared the rest of the ingredients and we're going to start making the dough. So to make the dough, I'm going to add all my ingredients to the mixing bowl, and that's flour, eggs, the rest of the sugar. I added some vanilla infused sugar. You can use vanilla extracts if you prefer. We're going to add the salt, baking powder, vegetable oil, melted butter that has already cooled, and again, for the exact amount of all the ingredients, it's down below in the description box. And then I'm gonna add my yeast starter, or the yeast that we have already prepared. Well, obviously it is very helpful if you are using a mixer or a kneading machine, because the dough is kind of soft and sticky, and when you're using your hands, if you don't do the right technique, it tends to stick into the hands, and then you add more flour and you lose the kind of consistency we are after. But it's still totally possible to make it only with your hands if you use the right kneading techniques. I also have another video on my channel where I'm making delicious cinnamon rolls without any mixer, so make sure to go check it out. And when you mix everything together, we're going to use, of course, the kneading hook. We're going to start the mixer and add in the wet ingredients. Here I used a combination of buttermilk and milk. Of course, you can use only milk or only buttermilk. You're just going to have to adjust the quantity. This information you will find down in the description box. And then you're going to knead the dough for at least 5 to 10 minutes until it starts nicely pull apart from the sides of the bowl. Then we're going to cover it and allow it to rise for at least 1 hour up to 2 hours depending on the temperature. When the time is up and the dough is almost ready, we're going to start making the filling. Don't make the filling too early, otherwise it will release too much water. So we're going to start by peeling the apples and grating them. You can also use a food processor if it makes it easier for you, but I prefer to hand grate it. To the apple, add 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, brown sugar, cinnamon, and the caramel. Like I said, this caramel we have prepared together in the previous recipe. You will find it on my channel. You will find the link down in the description box. If you don't want to prepare a caramel sauce from scratch, you can use any caramel sauce that you have already bought or whatever you have at home. Mix everything together till well combined and the filling is ready. If you notice that the apples are releasing too much juice, it's very watery, you can microwave it for 1 to 2 minutes, and this should make it thicker. The dough is ready when it has at least doubled in size. As you can see, it has nicely risen. So now use some flour on your hands and on the sides of the mixing bowl. Remove the dough and transfer it into a working surface. Gently knead the dough to degaze it, get rid of all the gas that has formed, and form a nice smooth bowl. Don't hesitate to add flour as needed. Also, you don't need to overwork the dough, simply degaze it and immediately form it into a nice smooth bowl and start rolling it. And while rolling it, keep adding flour and continue flipping it to avoid it from sticking to the working surface. As you see, the dough is really soft and easy to work with, so you're gonna need to roll it into a rectangular shape that's the size of about 14 by 8 inches. That's about 35 by 20 centimeters. And it's time to add the filling, so I'm gonna add the melted butter that has already cooled. If you have soft butter that is creamy and in room temperature, go ahead and spread it also, it is the same. And now spread the apple caramel filling we have prepared evenly without going all the way to the edges. And now roll the dough from the long side of the rectangular shape you made and make sure to go as even as possible and seal it at the end. And now to cut the roll into 12 rolls that are as even as possible, we're going to start by halving it, cut it into 2 halves. Then we're going to cut each half into 3 pieces and each third into 2 pieces. And make sure to use a very sharp knife or cutter. I have already lined my baking tray with parchment paper. If you don't want to use parchment paper, make sure to grease your pan generously. And then we're going to line the rolls 4 by 3. And now brush the rolls with the remaining melted butter. This will make them even softer and makes it really easier to pull apart. And once again, we're gonna cover them and allow them to rise for a last time between 45 minutes and 1 hour. And finally, brush them with the beaten egg before baking them in an oven that should be preheated to 175 degrees Celsius. That's 347 degrees Fahrenheit. It takes about 20 to 25 minutes to bake. If the rolls get golden brown on the top before the time is over, open the oven, cover them with another piece of parchment paper or some aluminum foil and bake them further till the time is up. And they should look gorgeously golden brown when you take them out of the oven, and they smell amazing. So immediately start working on the glazing and allow them to cool slightly. I'm going for a simple icing with icing sugar because I'm also using the caramel sauce as a topping. Go ahead and use cream cheese if you prefer that. It also tastes amazing. It also goes really nice with the apple and the caramel and all the other flavors we have already used. And you can make that by easily adding the milk gradually to the icing sugar while continuously mixing until you achieve a nice consistency. Add the vanilla extract and pour it all over the nice caramel apple cinnamon rolls. The glazing doesn't only add to the flavor, it also adds to the moisture, but it also works as a seal because it kind of prevents the rolls from drying out by locking in all the moisture and the softness from the dough itself. And this means your rolls will stay soft and moist longer time. Even the next day they will still be fluffy, bouncy and really soft. And finally, drizzle with more salted caramel sauce. You can never have too much salted caramel sauce on these rolls. It really complements all the other flavors, the apple, the cinnamon, the buttery taste and the vanilla. Everything tastes really amazing. So we have a perfect combination of flavors and textures. I hope you will be trying out this recipe soon. And if you do, please let me know in the comment section how it turned out. But I can guarantee you, if you try this recipe and follow all the instructions, this is the perfect apple caramel cinnamon rolls. They have the perfect texture, they're really soft and moist, they pull apart easy, they're really delicious. In my channel, you can find another recipe to basic cinnamon rolls without mixer. Go ahead and check it out. Also, don't forget to check the caramel sauce recipe. Also, I will leave the links down in the description box. I thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and see you soon in a new video. Happy baking!